In this video, I'm going to be teaching how to cut and sew this V-neck style. If you are interested in it, kindly watch till the end. So I'm going to be using these fabrics for the tutorials, one for the front and the other one for the back. So first thing I'm going to be doing is to work on the front, and from the center front, I'm going to be creating my neckline, which is 3.5 inches for the neck width, and then for the neck depth I'm going to be coming down by 8.5 inches. 8.5 inches. You can make it about 9 to 10.5 inches depending on how deep you want the neckline to be. After, just connect it to the shoulder, and then for the front, the neck width is going to be 3.5 like we did for the front, and then the neck depth will be 1.5 inches. After that, I'm going to be drawing the neck just like this. So this is what I have for the front, and then the other one is for the back. So what I'm going to be doing now is to work on the front. So with this, I'm going to be placing Ankara fabric on the front area. So the width of this Ankara fabric is about 5 inches. 5 inches width. 5 inches width, in which I'll be sewing ½ inch on both sides. So at the end of the day, it's going to be 4 inches. 4 inches. But with that 4 inches, when you fold it into two again, you're going to be getting 2 inches on both sides. So I'm going to be taking 1.5 inches from, like I said, if you fold it into two, you are going to be getting 2 inches. That is if you stitch the ½ inch. So just watch what I'm doing. So this is 2.5 inches. Then I'll be marking ½ inch down for stitching. So at the end of the day, when I'm stitching, you will understand. So since this is 2.5 inches, I'm going to be cutting out 2 inches from this. So instead of the 2 inches, I'll mark 1.5 because I'll be stitching ½ inch, and if I cut off 2 inches, that means I'll be losing ½ inch. So we are taking 1.5 inch from it, so that at the end of the day, when I stitch, it will be left with 2 inches. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So after that, just connect the points together this way and then cut it out. So I'm cutting both necklines out at this moment, and at the end of the day, I'll open it up to show you what I have, and then join the shoulders together with right side facing each other. I'll be stitching about 1/4 or ½ inch at that area on both sides. So after stitching, this is what I have. Next, I'll just fold it into two and then draw in the shape of the top, just to show you what I'm actually doing. Next thing I'm going to be doing is to measure from the down part through to the center of the neck. You can decide to measure all round, but I'm measuring only half, so that I'll multiply it by 2. But then if you want, you can measure all round to get your measurements. So I had 16 inches, so 16 by 2 is 32 inches. So you're going to make sure you fold your Ankara fabric into two, just like this, and then I fused it with a medium interfacing. As you can see, you can use medium or soft interfacing. It will work out depending on the fabric you are using. So I turned it to the wrong side, and then I'm going to measure from the center of the neck to the break point. So that is what I'm going to do at the moment. So I opened it up, and then from the center of the back, I'm going to measure round to the break point, and I have about 13 inches over there. So 13 inches. So since this is folded into two, I'm going to be marking the 13 inches. But before that, I'm going to divide this into two. Since it is 5 inches, I'm measuring 2.5 inches at the center and then I'll be connecting the points together to get a straight line like this. Yes, so a straight line like this, and then after that I'll go ahead and then measure my 13 inches from the upper part down. So this is the 13 inches I just marked over there, 13 inches. So after that, I'm going to be stitching from that point down. But in case it is a long dress and you want an opening at the back, you are going to measure from the down part up the length you want. So from the hem, you are going to measure it up. So I'm going to be using 5 inches for the example here. So that is 5 inches I just marked over there. So you are going to sew from that 13 inches point to that 5 inches point I marked from the lower part up. So from that point through to the 13 inches point. So after sewing, I'll show you what I'm actually saying in case you don't understand. So after sewing, this is what I have. So you can see from the 13 inches there's an opening at that area, and then when I get to the 5 inches area where I measured up, there is also an opening over there. So before anything, after sewing, go ahead and then press it down to get it right. Pressing makes your work neat, so always make sure you press it so that everything will lie down flat before you fix it on the neck or to the neck area. So after pressing, this is what I have. So that is what I'm going to be fixing onto the top. So one thing you can do is to fold 1/2 inch on both sides and then just sandwich this inside. You put it in like this and then top stitch. But then I'm not going to be doing it that way. I'll just pin it all around to the neck area and stitch, and after that I'll finish the edges with knitting. So mark the center of the Ankara and then the center of the back of whatever you are working on. So you are going to be joining the center points together. So this is the center of the Ankara, and I'm pinning it to the center of the back of the shirt I'm making. So after that, you go ahead and then pin it all round. Pin it all round before you stitch. I always stress on pinning because pinning makes working easier. So make sure you pin it all around just like I've done, and then go ahead and stitch it. So after stitching, this is what I have, and I'll go ahead and then press it again. So this is the opening I was talking about in case you want an opening at the lower part. So at this point, I'll just go ahead and then trim it off because I don't need it on this shirt. So what I'm going to be doing now is to trim that part off, and that is what I'm doing at the moment. So go ahead and trim off any excess in case you made the Ankara very long. Always make sure it is longer than the actual measurement, just in case. So this is what I have, and you can see it came out nice and then neat. So this is how you make your trendy V-neck style. So I hope this tutorial was helpful. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share my videos, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you another time. Bye.